Now in its fifth year running, the Screenmedia Expo 2012 is shaping up to be the biggest and best ever. Let's go and talk to some of the people inside. I'm here with Neale from OpenSplash. Now, can you please describe to me exactly what it is that OpenSplash does?
Yeah, OpenSplash is a free open source software player, so it's just the player software itself that will run on any platform. So that platform could be Windows, it could be Linux, it could be Android, or also we've seen an iPhone example as well. So that means it's just running on any of those platforms. It doesn't matter what sort of hardware it is, you can actually run it on that particular hardware, because it's very light in resources. So that means you can modify it and test it in your own environment to your own specifications. So it's actually quite flexible as well.
Wow, that's cool. Why open source?
It was a project that we suggested really in the first place to AIDA Media Systems, who actually developed it. They had a product called Splash, which was part of their digital portfolio, and they liked the idea of actually donating this player part of their solution to open source, which meant it fostered a sort of an innovations community around that, and it meant that it also put a bit of a benchmark in that this could be a standard player that anybody could use to connect to their own project, and the idea being that it becomes more of a standard within the industry that people could take and use and then innovate around as well.
So what are some of the benefits for having that?
Well, I think largely it's as well as the compatibility and the multi-purpose use in terms of different operating systems. It also helps, for instance, network owners. If a network owner has many different platforms through acquisition of other networks, for example, if they were running an OpenSplash player, then that would be easy for them to migrate from one CMS system to another. So rather than having to manage multiple different platforms, they could actually have a fairly easy migration path from one to another, and that means that it would then massively simplify the task of sort of making their inventory all come under one umbrella, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anything that makes it easier. What are some of the trends that you've noticed developing throughout 2012?
2012 has been quite a busy year, really. I think in terms of certainly mobile and social integration is ever increasing, really, and I think people are taking advantage of the fact that there's a lot of integration. People are becoming very aware of social and interacting with social applications, and people are starting to think about that a lot more and using that a lot more in the types of projects that they create tend to be multidiscipline. So rather than just having digital signage or point of sale or advertising, there's quite a lot of crossover between all these sort of projects, really, with many people thinking of innovative uses of all different types of technology drawn from all these various areas and then bringing together into one sort of creative execution.
So how does that impact on the types of demands that are placed on OpenSplash and the type of capabilities that you need to provide?
Well, I think OpenSplash really is designed as a core platform that you could actually innovate around. So if you wanted to do something particular, then you could actually take OpenSplash as a software base and then add in your own extensions and modules into that. So from that point of view, it could be, so long as you have the development skills, it could be quite a good way of bringing new products and product ideas to fruition. One of the advantages being open source is that anybody could actually take the core source and develop some of their own stuff for it. So that means that it's actually quite easy for developers to actually get started, really. There's no API, as it were, that you have to interface directly with. You actually get access to the raw code itself, so you can actually see how it works and see how to develop and actually quite quickly get something up and running.
Fantastic. That's what we like the sound of. Thank you so much for having a chat to us, and all the best for 2012.
Thank you.